chosen one. Stop for a moment. Yes, right now. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you so that you could hear this. You are not scrolling by coincidence. You are being summoned. The noise of the world fades, and a divine whisper breaks through the static. You were never ordinary. You have been walking through storms, thinking they were punishments, when in truth, they were summons. Every pain, every delay, every silence from heaven, it was all part of the orchestration. You are being called into remembrance. Heaven has seen the tears you cried behind closed doors, the way your faith trembled but never broke. There were moments you wanted to walk away from everything, yet someone pulled you back. That something is divine. It is not coincidence. It is covenant. God has not forgotten your name. You are a marked one, a chosen vessel meant to awaken others in this generation. The Word of God declares in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified of them, for the Lord your God will never leave you." These ancient words were not written for another time. They are breathing now, alive in the very air around you. Heaven has been closer to you than your fears, standing beside you in every unseen battle. Listen closely now. Heaven is speaking. And this message is not for the masses. It is for you. This is not entertainment. This is encounter. Heaven does not waste words. You are being positioned for a moment that will define the rest of your journey. The world is shifting. Timelines are collapsing. And mercy is whispering. Now, there comes a time when the chosen can no longer hide behind hesitation. You are reaching that time. The pain you survived was the proof of your preparation. Every disappointment carved out deeper compassion in you. Every betrayal taught you how to discern spirits. Every season of silence trained you to hear God's whisper, even in the wind. Heaven saw it all. And now, heaven speaks. There is a trembling in the atmosphere because destinies are being realigned. You can feel it, the pull, the urgency, the electricity of the unseen realm stirring. The same voice that called Abraham out of Ur, the same voice that thundered on Mount Sinai, is calling your name. Come forth. It is not a suggestion, it is a summons. You were never meant to blend in. That ache in your chest, that holy discontent, is not restlessness, it is recognition. Your spirit recognizes that the season of silence is over. Heaven is issuing a final warning, not out of anger, but out of mercy. You cannot delay your obedience any longer. The window of grace is open, but it will not stay open forever. And yet, this is not a message of fear, it is a message of awakening. Because when heaven warns, it is to prepare, not to punish. You are being realigned, not rejected. Every storm that shook you was shaking off the dust of complacency. Every loss you faced was pruning for fruitfulness. You have been refined in the fire so that your light would not flicker when the wind rises. Beloved, look around. The world is shouting louder, but the voice of truth remains still. It's not found in noise, it's found in knowing. And heaven is whispering into your knowing right now. You are chosen. You are not the same as before. The version of you that doubted is being buried. The version of you that feared is being replaced by boldness. You are crossing over from surviving to ruling. Do not think it strange that you feel this stirring deep inside. You are sensing the shift because your spirit has always been connected to the throne. You were born with heaven's code imprinted on your DNA. You cannot be ordinary, even if you try. That is why nothing in your past has been able to destroy you. You are divinely indestructible until your assignment is complete. Now, hear this clearly. This message found you because heaven ordained it to. You are being summoned to rise, to step out of shadows, to stand where angels have already prepared the ground. The very atmosphere around you is changing because you are awakening to who you really are. This is the hour of remembrance. Heaven is recording responses. Your faith must not remain silent. If you know this message was for you, if something inside you leapt while reading this, then do not scroll away without responding. Your response is your seal of agreement with heaven. Comment 777 below as your prophetic act. Your yes to divine alignment. Then, like, share, and subscribe so that the sound of heaven continues to echo through every corner of this world. Chosen one. Heaven saw the weight you carried, every sigh in the middle of the night, every tear that slipped down unnoticed. None of it was wasted. You thought you were breaking, but you were being built. The pain you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. God was stretching your spirit, expanding your endurance, refining your heart to carry something greater than yourself. You remember the nights you lay awake, wondering if heaven had gone silent. The questions haunted you. Why me? Why so much pain? But heaven whispers now, because you are trusted. The reason your battles were so intense is because your destiny is so weighty. You are not fragile, you are fortified. The fire you walked through did not destroy you, it burned away what could not stay. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 126, verse 5. Those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. These words are a divine key, unlocking the meaning behind your suffering. Every tear that fell became a seed. Every prayer you prayed in exhaustion was planting the foundation of future laughter. You may not have seen it, but heaven was watering those seeds in silence. What was buried in sorrow will rise in joy. Your weeping was not weakness, it was worship. You were crying, yes, but you were also consecrating. Every tear said, even in this, I trust you, and the heavens heard it. The angels marked those moments. They saw the warfare you endured silently while smiling for others publicly. You carried what would have crushed many. You bore the unseen battles of generations before you. Breaking cycles you didn't even start. This is why the weight was heavy. It was generational. You were carrying more than your story. You were carrying redemption for those who came before you. The pressure was proof of purpose. Heaven had to build capacity within you because the blessing about to pour out is greater than anything you've known. You wondered why it seemed that people around you could quit easily, while you were compelled to keep going. It's because their assignment was different. You were not designed for the ordinary. The resistance you faced was customized for your crown. Every closed door was heaven's protection, not rejection. Every delay was divine timing, ensuring that when the door opens, you'll be ready to walk through with wisdom. Beloved, remember the moments when you thought you couldn't survive another day, yet somehow you did. That was not coincidence. That was God's sustaining grace. You didn't just make it through, you grew through it. Each hardship was a hidden classroom, teaching you patience, teaching you prayer, teaching you discernment. You are not the same as you were before the storm. You are stronger, softer, and sharper. The world cannot understand this kind of endurance. It is the kind that comes only from being carried by unseen hands. You were not walking alone, even when it looked like it. Heaven was walking with you through the fire, holding you steady when your knees wanted to buckle. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead has been strengthening you from within. There were times you mistook delay for denial, but heaven never said no, it said, "Not yet," because premature promotion can destroy divine purpose. You had to mature into the mantle prepared for you, and you did, slowly, silently, faithfully. When others gave up, you stayed. When others mocked, you prayed. When others ran, you remained rooted. This is why the weight has begun to lift. The season of silent endurance is coming to a close. You are stepping into the reaping season, the divine reversal, where everything lost will be restored in overflowing measure. You will see it. Joy returning where sorrow once lived. Strength replacing fatigue. Laughter echoing where lament once lingered. The night was long, but dawn always comes. And when it does, the ones who endured the dark will shine brightest in the morning light. Your suffering was not random, it was redemptive. Heaven trusted you to carry the weight because heaven knew you would not drop it. You are being rewarded not just for surviving, but for your faithfulness under pressure. Chosen one. Hold this truth close. The same God who watched you weep will cause you to dance. The same God who saw your pain will multiply your joy. You are stepping out of hidden warfare into visible victory. The weight that once crushed you will become your testimony. Every burden you carried will soon make sense in the light of what's coming. You have sown in tears, your harvest will come in laughter. This is not wishful thinking, it is divine law, etched in eternity. And heaven never breaks its word. Chosen one. The rejection you faced was not a curse, it was confirmation. Every door that slammed in your face was heaven whispering, "Not this one, I have better." You cried thinking you were abandoned, but truly, you were being hand-selected. The misunderstanding, the loneliness, the feeling that no one could see your worth at all, served a divine purpose. You were never meant to fit in, you were meant to stand out. Heaven was hiding you in plain sight. When others overlooked you, God was shielding you. When they said you weren't enough, heaven said you were essential. You weren't being ignored, you were being incubated. Isolation has always been the preparation room of the chosen. What felt like rejection was actually redirection, positioning you for places they could never enter. The Apostle John reminds us in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 18, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." When you began to awaken to your calling, you outgrew certain circles. Not because you were better, but because your spirit started vibrating at a higher frequency than their comfort zones could handle. The moment you stopped conforming, the attacks increased. But heaven smiled. Because resistance means revelation is near. Rejection has a holy side. It pushes you to depend on God when approval disappears. It teaches you to anchor your identity in something eternal. Every person who walked away made more space for divine encounters. You were never meant to build your worth on applause. You were meant to find your value in the whisper of the Almighty. Think of Joseph, cast into a pit by his own brothers, only to rise as a ruler of nations. Think of David, left in the fields when others were anointed, only to be crowned king. Their isolation was an anointing incubator. So was yours. Every time someone turned their back, God was turning you toward your future. You didn't lose people. You were released from weights. You didn't miss opportunities. You were being protected from counterfeits. Heaven knows what you cannot see. Some platforms would have suffocated your purpose. Some relationships would have corrupted your purity. God allowed misunderstanding so you could be molded without interference. You are not behind schedule. You are hidden in process. The silence of heaven was not neglect. It was nourishment. In that quiet, God was teaching you how to hear Him without the noise of approval. You are now walking in a level of spiritual perception that only solitude could give. The crowd cannot train prophets. The wilderness can. So now, when people don't understand your fire, let them wonder. When they mock your faith, let them talk. You do not owe explanation to anyone who did not pay the price of your process. The oil you carry was pressed out in seasons of pain, and those who mocked you then will marvel later, because the same stone they rejected will become the cornerstone of a move they cannot stop. Chosen one, you must release resentment. Don't curse the ones who left, bless them. They were tools for your transformation. God used them to cut away your dependency on human validation. They were never meant to stay. And that's okay. You cannot rise while clinging to who you used to need. Even now, heaven whispers, you were never meant to be understood by the ordinary. You are extraordinary. You carry frequencies of light that darkness cannot interpret. And when you walk into rooms, spirits react, not because you are arrogant, but because you are anointed. So lift your head, not in pride, but in purpose. The very people who rejected you will one day witness your resurrection. You don't need to prove them wrong. God will handle the proof. You just need to stay pure, stay focused, and stay faithful. Your rejection story will become someone else's revival message. Now, seal this moment with a declaration. Type, I am chosen. End of P. Not as a comment for attention, but as a prophetic act of alignment. When you write it, you are agreeing with heaven's verdict over your life. You are declaring that rejection will no longer define you. Redemption will. You are reminding your spirit that you are not abandoned. You are assigned. So, type it. Not timidly, but boldly. Because heaven reads comments too. Every I am chosen is a signal in the spirit, a sound that reaches the throne, and angels respond. Your destiny is shifting even as you declare it. You were misunderstood because you are marked. You were rejected because you are refined. And now, beloved, it is time to rise, carrying peace where pain once lived, carrying grace where bitterness once grew. You are chosen, always have been, always will be. Chosen one. The enemy has always feared what you carry. That is why the attacks came early, even as a child. You felt the weight of unseen warfare pressing against your peace. You couldn't explain it, but you sensed it. Darkness recognized your light long before you did. You were born with something the enemy could not steal, divine authority wrapped in vulnerability. And that authority terrified hell. You may have wondered why opposition seemed to chase you even when you tried to live quietly. It's because you are not ordinary. Ordinary souls do not disturb the underworld. But you walk into a room and the atmosphere shifts. You speak. And spiritual forces pay attention. Your very existence threatens systems of darkness. Because you carry heaven's frequency within you, the Word of God reveals this mystery through the writings in the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. You are the evidence of heaven's victory. Each time you refused to quit, you proclaimed a sermon louder than any words could say. You are proof that grace still works, that light still wins, that faith still conquers fear. Every spiritual wound you carry shines like armor in the unseen realm. Hell cannot touch what has already been redeemed. There were moments when you mistook attack for abandonment. You cried, "God, why is this happening to me?" But heaven answers softly now, "Because you are dangerous to darkness. The enemy studies those who have influence in the spirit. You may not have fame on earth, but your obedience echoes through eternity. You have shifted generations with a single prayer, broken chains with a whisper of surrender, and silenced storms simply by staying faithful. The spiritual realm knows your name. The enemy knows the price you've paid to stand. Every time you resisted temptation, you declared war. Every time you forgave, instead of retaliating, you destroyed a stronghold. Every act of love became a weapon sharper than any sword. You fight not with fists, but with faith. You war not by shouting, but by standing. And your stand terrifies hell. Chosen one, you must understand this. Your warfare is not punishment. It's recognition. The enemy only fights what threatens him. That's why when your praise rises, the atmosphere shakes. That's why when you pray, confusion strikes the camp of darkness. You are a walking altar, a living temple where God's glory dwells. And yet, you have survived attacks that should have taken you out. Not because you were strong, but because God was within you. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead sustains you daily. That's why, even in exhaustion, something inside you keeps burning. That flame will not go out. It was lit by divine hands. You've seen warfare take form in different ways, people turning cold, doors closing, sudden exhaustion, emotional heaviness. These are not coincidences, they are counterattacks. But each time they rise, heaven raises a higher standard. You are covered. You are defended. Angels stand guard around you, not because you are fragile, but because you are valuable. The enemy cannot stop what heaven has started. He can only distract. That is why you must guard your focus. Don't waste your breath fighting shadows. Stand in the light and let truth do the battling for you. You are not called to fear demons. You are called to drive them out. Your authority does not come from volume, but from revelation. The moment you realize who walks with you, fear dissolves completely. There is no curse that can cling to a surrendered soul. There is no chain that can bind a heart filled with truth. You walk beneath divine covering, chosen for confrontation, not of flesh, but of spirit. You were born to disrupt darkness, to expose lies, to carry light into corners where others dare not go. So stand tall. Beloved, don't shrink when warfare increases. It's a signal that breakthrough is near. When darkness trembles, it's because your name has been mentioned in heaven's strategy room. You are not merely surviving battles, you are shaping history through them. Chosen one. The enemy fears your awakening more than anything, because once you truly know who you are, Hell has no language left to intimidate you. You were never the hunted, you were always the weapon. And now, as heaven sharpens you once again, you will see darkness flee not because of who you are, but because of who lives inside you. Chosen one. Time is running short. You can feel it, can't you? The air feels heavier. The days blur faster. The moments between breaths seem charged with something unseen. Heaven is speaking through every sunrise, through every storm, through every shaking. It is saying, the hour is near. You are not imagining the urgency in your spirit. It is divine. Heaven is stirring the hearts of the chosen to awaken before the final shift begins. The ancient words recorded in the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 12, declare, the night is nearly over, the day is almost here. So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. These are not just poetic phrases, they are a trumpet blast from eternity. The shadows that once felt comfortable are fading, and the light of truth is demanding response. You cannot stand in both realms. The time for halfway obedience is over. Think of it this way: when the tide begins to recede, only those standing on solid rock remain. The shifting sands of distraction, compromise, and fear are washing away. The Spirit of God is calling His chosen to plant their feet firmly on truth. This is not the moment to delay, to hesitate, to keep scrolling past divine interruption. Every breath you take now is a countdown toward revelation. You have felt the tension building inside your soul. Heaven has whispered, prepare, and your heart has echoed, I know. Yet the world keeps pulling, promising comfort, promising escape. But the comforts of this world are like fog. They appear thick, but they vanish when light hits them. You were made for more than fog. You were made for flame. Beloved, your journey has never been random. Every delay was divine design. Every detour taught you to listen more deeply. The clock of destiny is ticking, not in fear, but in invitation. Heaven does not want your panic. It wants your participation. God is not scolding you. He is summoning you, like a father calling his child home before the storm breaks. His voice is full of urgency, but also full of love. There are seasons when heaven speaks softly. Then there are seasons like this, when the sound becomes thunder. Right now, that thunder is not to frighten you, but to awaken you. The same thunder that shook Sinai now rolls across your timeline, saying, wake up, my warrior. The night cannot hold you any longer. Oh, the final harvest is drawing near. There are souls waiting for the sound of your voice. People whose hope depends on your obedience. Your silence can no longer be an option. You were not chosen to hide, you were chosen to herald. And yet, the work is not done alone. Even the brightest flame needs oil to burn. That is why this space, this message, this platform exists. It is a lighthouse in the storm. But lighthouses do not shine without fuel. If this message has touched your spirit, if you feel heaven breathing through these words, then I invite you to keep the flame burning, like a candle passed from one to another. Your simple act of love can help carry this light further than one voice ever could. Your like is not just a click, it is an echo, a ripple that helps the message reach another soul standing on the edge. Your share is a seed falling into unseen soil, destined to bloom in someone else's night. When you subscribe, you're not just joining a page, you're anchoring yourself in a stream of ongoing revelation, where heaven's words continue to flow. And if your heart feels moved to donate, know this: it isn't a transaction, it's transformation. Your gift becomes the oil that keeps this light burning, the ink that writes more messages, the bread that feeds more wandering souls. You are not giving to a screen, you are sowing into a mission. Every seed you plant is another voice lifted, another heart awakened, another light kindled. Imagine the ripple. A message whispered through your share travels across oceans, lands in another heart at midnight, and saves a life from despair. That is how heaven multiplies what seems small. You become a messenger without even speaking, a builder of something eternal, chosen one. Heaven is watching not to judge, but to rejoice in every act of faithfulness. Time is short, but the grace to respond is here. Now, do not let this moment pass. The dawn is near, and you were never meant to sleep through sunrise. The armor of light is ready, and heaven is waiting for you to wear it boldly. The time for waiting has ended. Step forward. Be the echo of heaven's urgency in this hour. Shine, share, and stand, because every moment you do, darkness loses ground. Chosen one. Heaven has always spoken in patterns, through signs, through seasons, through numbers that carry meaning beyond logic. The language of heaven is not just words, it is rhythm, alignment, and divine timing. And right now, that rhythm is pulsing through your spirit. You feel it, a quiet stirring that tells you something is shifting. This is not emotion, it is revelation. The sacred writings of the prophet Habakkuk hold a secret that echoes through generations. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, "Write the vision and make it plain on tablets, that he may run who reads it." These words are more than instruction, they are invitation. Heaven is saying, do not just feel what I'm doing, declare it, record it, release it. Because what you write in faith today will become the blueprint for tomorrow's breakthrough. You see, when God releases revelation, He also tests responsibility. Can you hold what He's shown you long enough to build it? Can you be trusted to run even when no one claps? Even when no one understands? Many start with excitement but stop at exhaustion. But not you. You have endurance carved by trials. You have seen too much to turn back now. Beloved, this is the season where heaven is revealing prophetic codes, numbers that are not coincidences, but confirmations. You may have seen them, repeated digits, divine alignments, in time. The same sequence showing up until you cannot ignore it. These are not random. They are heaven's fingerprints. Each one is a reminder that the divine plan is still unfolding, perfectly, precisely, and right here, in this sacred moment. Heaven is extending an invitation for those who are ready to align. The number for this section is 555. Comment 555 below as your prophetic declaration. It is not superstition, it is symbolism. 5 represents grace, and 555 means abundant grace multiplied. When you type it, you are not entering a number, you are entering covenant. It is heaven's reminder that grace has not run out, that favor still flows, that time is still redeemable. You may not understand why this number stirs your spirit, but it does, because your soul recognizes truth even before your mind does. When you type 555, you're saying, I accept divine alignement. I receive multiplied grace for my assignment. M. Think of it as a key. Every number God uses unlocks something hidden. 7 speaks of completion. 8 of new beginnings. And 5 of grace. But when it triples, it becomes a roar in the spirit, a reminder that what once felt delayed is now being accelerated. Heaven is aligning you with people, opportunities, and divine timing. The puzzle pieces are moving, and grace is the hand, arranging them. You have been through seasons where everything felt disjointed, doors half open, promises half fulfilled. But now, with this act of faith, alignment begins. Do not underestimate the small prophetic acts. A simple comment, a quiet prayer, a moment of surrender, they shift realms. God doesn't always need grand gestures, He just needs agreement. When your action meets His word, miracle manifeste. Chosen one. This is not the hour to hide your vision in the shadows. The dreams God gave you were not to tease you, they were to train you. You were shown glimpses of your destiny to prepare your heart for its weight. You are ready now. Grace has multiplied around you. Doors that refused to open before are about to swing wide, not because you forced them, but because grace pushed them. The number 555 is heaven's whisper. You are not late. You are right on time. Every delay was divine calibration. Every setback was set up. You have not missed your moment. You are walking into it. So let your faith respond. Heaven is watching not your perfection, but your participation. When you write the vision, when you declare alignment, when you move, even in small obedience, heaven multiplies your momentum. The same God who whispered to Habakkuk now whispers to you. Make it plain. Make it known. Make it real. Write what you believe. Speak what you've seen. Act on what you've heard. Because this moment, this alignment is sacred. Comment 555 below as a prophetic seal. You're not just typing numbers, you're activating grace. You're agreeing with heaven's timeline. You're saying, I will not delay my destiny any longer. And chosen one. The ink of obedience is what writes the next chapter of your story. Pick up the pen. Heaven is waiting. Chosen one. There comes a sacred moment in every destiny when standing still is no longer an option. You have arrived at that moment. The road before you has split in two, one path of comfort and compromise, the other of consecration and calling. The world may say you still have time, but heaven knows the truth. Delay is disobedience in disguise. You are standing at the cliff of decision, and heaven waits for your step. This is not punishment, it is purpose. God brings every chosen one to this edge, a place where faith must leap, or fear will linger. You cannot keep one foot in safety and one in surrender. The wind is changing, and you can feel it. It is not the wind of chaos, but of calling. Heaven is urging you to move. Not later, not someday, but now. The ancient writings of Joshua speak directly into this moment, as it is written in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. The voice of that scripture does not echo from a distant past. It reverberates in your soul right now. This day, not tomorrow, is the altar of your choice. Heaven does not measure time by clocks, but by decisions. You know what this moment feels like, the stirring inside that refuses to let you rest. It's the quiet ache that tells you something must change. You have been circling the same mountain too long, rehearsing the same excuses, bargaining with obedience. But there is no longer space for indecision. The door that remains half open will soon close. You must either walk through it or walk away from it. Do not fear the unknown. The cliff you are standing on is not the end. It is the beginning of flight. God does not push you to fall. He calls you to soar. Every step of faith feels like stepping into air. But heaven always builds a bridge beneath the obedient. The ground will appear when you move. That is the mystery of divine motion. It only manifests in movement. You have waited for confirmation, for signs, for perfect conditions. But heaven has already spoken. The sign you seek is your own stirring heart. The confirmation you crave is your conviction. You already know what must be done. You already know what must be surrendered. This is the hour to lay down what is safe, so that you can hold what is sacred. There will always be a voice whispering, "It's not the right time." That voice is not faith. It is fear dressed in logic. Faith never waits for the right time. Faith makes time right. The enemy's strategy is subtle, not to make you rebel, but to make you postpone. Because if he can keep you comfortable, he can keep you captive. But heaven is calling you higher, calling you beyond comfort, beyond convenience. Think of Abraham leaving everything familiar to follow a promise he could not see. Think of Peter stepping out of the boat into impossible waters. Think of Mary saying yes to an angelic word that changed her entire world. Every great move of God begins with a single act of courage. Heaven is waiting for yours. Do not let the fear of loss outweigh the promise of purpose. What you leave behind is nothing compared to what lies ahead. God does not ask you to surrender something unless He has prepared something greater. You cannot outgive the Creator. Every time you release your will, He releases His wonder. Beloved, hesitation may feel harmless, but it erodes destiny quietly. Every time you say, "Later," a door in the spirit begins to fade. But when you say, "Now," the heavens open. You were not made for delayed obedience. You were made for divine momentum. You will never feel fully ready. Obedience is what makes you ready. Look closely at where you are now. You've come too far to turn back. The wilderness behind you cannot offer what's waiting ahead. You may not see the full picture, but you can trust the painter. He has never failed to finish what he starts. The path may look narrow, but it leads to wide spaces. The light may seem dim, but it is enough for the next step. The cliff of decision is not a threat, it's an invitation. It's heaven saying, "Jump, and I'll teach you to fly." The same God who called you out will carry you through. His arms are already stretched beneath your leap, and when your feet leave the edge, you will discover what every chosen one eventually learns, that obedience never leads to ruin. Only revelation. Chosen one. You are standing where destiny divides. Heaven is silent, only to see what sound you will make. Do not let fear write your story. Let faith finish it. The time is now. Step off the edge. Heaven is waiting to catch you. Chosen one. What you do not yet realize is that heaven has never sent you into battle unarmed. You have felt weak, overwhelmed, and outnumbered. But that is because your armor was never meant to be seen. It was meant to be worn in spirit. You have carried divine protection like invisible light, a shield that the world cannot recognize, but darkness cannot penetrate. You see, the world measures strength by muscle and might, but heaven measures it by endurance and faith. You have endured. That is why you are still standing. When the winds raged and the foundations shook, it was not because you were unprotected, it was because God was proving your armor. You have already passed tests that you didn't even realize were tests. Every time you kept believing through pain, you were sharpening your sword. Every time you forgave, you were polishing your shield. Heaven speaks clearly through the writings of the Apostle Paul in the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." This is not metaphorical poetry, it is divine strategy. You are a warrior in unseen realms, and every piece of that armor carries heavenly technology crafted for you long before your first battle began. The belt of truth has been wrapped around you every time you refuse to live by lies. The breastplate of righteousness has covered you when guilt tried to pierce your heart. The shield of faith has blocked arrows you never saw coming. And the helmet of salvation has guarded your mind when doubt tried to poison your thoughts. The sword of the Spirit, the Word itself, has been your unseen weapon. Even when your lips only whispered fragments of prayer through tears. Do you see it now? You were never defenseless. You were divine in disguise. The armor you wear is not forged by human hands. It's woven from obedience, humility, and truth. It fits only you because it was made from your story, your scars, and your surrender. Every bruise, every battle, every breakthrough has added strength to its frame. Sometimes God allows the enemy to strike, not to harm you, but to reveal what you carry. You didn't know you could withstand such pressure until pressure came. You didn't know you could speak life into dead places until everything around you fell silent. That silence was not punishment. It was the sound of heaven training you for spiritual precision. You have been asking, why do I keep fighting the same battles? Because God was teaching you mastery, not survival. Soldiers who are chosen for high-ranking assignments go through repeated drills, not because they're failing, but because they're being fortified. What looks like repetition is actually refinement. You are being trained to wield your weapons with accuracy, not fear. There are nights when your spirit feels exhausted, and you whisper, I can't fight anymore. But heaven leans close and reminds you, you're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from it. The war has already been won, and your battles are simply proving what is already written. You are enforcing heaven's verdict over your life. Every time you resist darkness, you are declaring, it is finished. Anders, chosen one. Understand this, the enemy's greatest weapon is distraction. If he cannot destroy you, he will attempt to drain you. That's why peace feels like warfare sometimes, because rest is resistance. When you choose stillness in chaos, you frustrate the plans of hell. The enemy cannot comprehend a soul that stands calm in the storm. You have learned to fight not with panic, but with prayer, not with noise, but with knowing. That quiet confidence you carry is heaven's mark of maturity. You have grown past reaction into revelation. The battle may still rage, but it no longer rattles you the same way. Because you finally understand, victory is not a moment, it is a mindset. So today, adjust your armor, fasten truth tighter around your waist, polish your shield of faith, Let the word sharpen your sword again. You are entering new levels of confrontation. But you are also entering new levels of clarity. Every victory you win, in secret, becomes light that illuminates others in public. And remember, armor is not meant for display, it's meant for use. Do not fear the fight. You were crafted for it. When you step into a room, darkness doesn't see a fragile human, it sees a warrior glowing with divine fire. The same fire that kept the 3 Hebrews alive in Babylon's furnace burns within you now. So, stand tall, chosen one, not because you are fearless, but because you are covered. The unseen armor upon you gleams brighter than any crown of this world. The battles ahead may look fierce, but the warrior within you is fiercer. Heaven's army moves with you, and the captain of hosts leads your way. You are not surviving, you are advancing. And every step you take in faith makes the darkness retreat. Chosen one, heaven watches as you stand taller, now stronger, sharper, more aware of who you are. You have survived storms that were meant to erase you, but instead they revealed you. You no longer move like a victim, you move like royalty. Yet there is something heaven needs you to do, something simple, but powerful beyond measure. Claim your crown. You see, the world often mistakes humility for hiding, but true humility does not mean shrinking, it means standing firm. Knowing exactly where your authority comes from. You are not arrogant for walking in confidence, you are obedient. Heaven did not place you here to whisper destiny, it placed you here to demonstrate it. The time for silent strength has passed. Now, your light must be visible. The sacred writings declare your identity clearly, as it is written in the first letter of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, called out of darkness into his wonderful light. These words are not poetic comfort, they are divine decree. Heaven has already crowned you, long before the world ever acknowledged your worth. You have been walking with a crown the enemy tried to convince you didn't exist. Every lie, every attack, every betrayal, it was aimed at your identity. If the enemy can confuse who you are, he can control how you live. But today, clarity comes. You are not trying to earn worth, you are awakening to it. There are crowns in heaven that are not made of gold, but of obedience. Crowns forged in surrender, shaped by tears, polished by perseverance. You have been wearing yours without realizing it. Every time you chose kindness over vengeance, forgiveness over bitterness, faith over fear, you polished that crown. It gleams now with glory, unseen by eyes of flesh, but radiant in the eyes of heaven. So why has the warfare been so intense? Because the enemy knows a crowned believer cannot be controlled. Once you realize your authority, you stop reacting. You start reigning. You stop begging for blessings and start walking in them. The crown doesn't make you prideful, it makes you purposeful. You understand that your words carry weight, that your prayers shift realms, that your presence disrupts darkness. The crown represents dominion, not over people, but over atmosphere. When you walk into a room, the spirit of heaviness must bow. When you speak peace, chaos must still. You are a carrier of heaven's authority, not by title, but by truth. And yet, there is one thing left to do. Acknowledge it. Type, I claim it. M. Do not let hesitation silence you. When you declare these 3 words, you are not performing for the world. You are proclaiming before heaven. You are saying, I receive what God already gave me. It is not pride. It is partnership. It is agreement with divine truth. Type, I claim it. Because your declaration is a spiritual signature. Angels record agreement. Demons retreat from conviction. Heaven responds to faith that speaks. The power is not in the phrase itself, it's in the faith behind it. When you write those words, you are symbolically lifting the crown heaven set on your head long ago. You are saying, no more self-doubt, no more shame. I walk in my divine identity. Endos, let the world misunderstand you, if it must. Let them question your confidence. You know the truth. They are not witnessing arrogance. They are witnessing awakening. For too long, the chosen ones have walked bowed under the weight of false humility. But heaven did not crown you to keep you crawling. Heaven crowned you to make you a light bearer, a standard aisé, a reflection of divine royalty. The moment you recognize your crown, everything changes. You begin to carry yourself differently, not with ego, but with assurance. You walk into battles already knowing you've won. You face critics with calm. You respond to chaos with clarity. You live not for validation, but from revelation. The crown upon you is not fragile. It was forged in fire. It does not fall when you stumble. It steadies when you rise. And if you have ever doubted that you deserve it, remember, heaven does not crown the perfect, but the persevering. You have persevered. You have remained faithful when it was easier to walk away. You have loved when it would have been easier to hate. That is royalty. So, go on. Chosen. 1. Lift your head. You carry heaven's insignia upon your soul. Let the world see not your glory, but his reflected through you. Every step you take is a declaration that grace reigns and that you belong not to this earth, but to the eternal kingdom. Type, I claim it, right now, and let heaven record your agreement. Let those words be your coronation song, not a whisper of pride, but a roar of purpose. You are not earning a crown, you are finally recognizing it. You are chosen, you are crowned, and from this day forward, you will walk like it. Chosen one. Every warrior eventually learns, this truth battles end. But the war for faith never sleeps. You have stood through the fiercest storms, and heaven has watched you raise your head above the flood. You are still standing because grace held you. You are still breathing because purpose refused to release you. And now, as light breaks through the clouds, God whispers a decree over your life that has echoed through eternity. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Oh, the prophet Isaiah recorded this promise in the sacred text. Chapter 54, verse 17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue rising against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is your heritage. Let these words settle deep within you, like seeds into fertile soil. Weapons may form, but they will fail. Words may be spoken, but they will crumble. The attacks against you were never meant to succeed. They were meant to strengthen your shield. Every lie sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal toughened your armor. Every delay built patience into your bones. Heaven never promised an easy path, but it promised a victorious ending. Think of a potter shaping clay. Every strike of his hand feels like breaking, yet it is actually forming. The spinning wheel you've been on was never chaos, it was creation. God's hands have never left you. They have only pressed harder when your shape began to emerge. The weapons that tried to crush you only revealed how unbreakable you are. You may not see it yet, but every scar glows in the spirit. Each one is a medal of endurance, proof that darkness tried but failed. The light within you has become armor, and every time you choose faith over fear, heaven celebrates. Still, the message must go forth. The light that burns in you cannot stay hidden beneath silence. There are hearts out there like fragile candles, flickering in wind. They need the warmth of your flame. They need to know that weapons fail, that faith still wins, that love still heals. That is why this message matters. It is not about numbers, it is about nourishment. Every like, every share, every comment becomes a spark that carries hope further than one voice ever could. When you press that button, you are not just reacting, you are releasing light. You are pushing back against darkness with something as small as your fingertip, yet as mighty as your faith. Think of this space as a garden, and each share as a seed. You may never see the tree that grows from it, but someone else will rest in its shade. You might think your gesture is small, but heaven counts it as obedience. The gospel has always spread by small hands, doing sacred things, and for those who feel led, those whose hearts sense a deeper stirring, this is also your chance to sow, not by obligation, but by overflow. Your gift, your donation, is like pouring oil into a lamp. The more oil there is, the longer the flame can burn. When you give, you're not supporting a platform, you're fueling a mission. You're saying, keep the light burning, keep the message flowing, keep awakening souls. Imagine a lighthouse standing on a cliff. Ich Donation. Each share. Each prayer keeps its beam bright for ships lost at sea. Some will never know who kept the light on, but God does. He records every act of generosity as worship. When you give, heaven doesn't see currency, it sees compassion translated into movement. Chosen one. Your support is more than help, it's partnership. Together, we are building a bridge between heaven's message and humanity's heart. Together, we ensure that no weary soul has to stumble in the dark. When you like, you strengthen the signal. When you share, you extend the reach. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to the flow of revelation. And when you donate, you pour oil into the fire that refuses to die. This is how light multiplies through hands, through hearts, through unity. The world is dimming under the weight of noise, but you are keeping a sacred flame alive. You are helping heaven speak where hope has gone silent. Do not underestimate your part in this. Every gesture counts. Every spark matters. Remember, no weapon against you will prosper, and no effort for God will ever be wasted. You are part of a divine chain reaction where faith ignites faith, and light multiplies light. So, beloved, take your place in this story. Let your presence be the echo that keeps heaven's voice resounding across generations. The light is burning. Let's keep it shining together. Chosen one. If only you could see what surrounds you now. The realm you cannot touch with your hands is alive with movement. Heaven's army has been dispatched on your behalf, angels on assignment, stationed at every turn of your journey. You have walked through battles thinking you were alone, but not a single step was taken without divine escort. The unseen has been busy protecting you. The writings of David reveal this mystery clearly, as recorded in the book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. These are not symbolic words. They are literal truth wrapped in poetry. The same voice that breathed galaxies into existence has issued a standing order in your name. Guard this one. Do not let them fall. If you could glimpse what happens when you pray, you would never doubt again. Angels move at the sound of faith. They are drawn not to noise, but to obedience. When you whisper, "God, help me," it reverberates through heaven's chambers like thunder. Immediately, movement begins. Orders are given. Shields are raised. Paths are cleared. You are not small. You are strategic. You are not unnoticed. You are under assignment. Think back on the moments that could have destroyed you, the near accidents, the sudden redirections, the split-second delays that made no sense at the time. Those were not coincidences. Those were interventions. Heaven blocked certain doors, delayed certain people, even rearranged entire timelines to preserve you for this moment. Every unseen rescue is a testimony that angels are real and working. There have been times when you thought the silence of heaven meant absence, but silence is not absence, it's strategy. When heaven seems still, the angels are most active. They move in secrecy, shielding you from battles that would break you if you knew their full weight. Do you remember the seasons when everything seemed to fall apart, yet somehow you survived? That survival was not luck, it was divine covering. Some wars you fought consciously, others heaven fought for you. There were nights when you slept while angels stood watch, warding off what was meant to end you. Their swords of light have cut through darkness you never even saw, and there are more of them than you can imagine. Scripture tells of legions, armies beyond number, who answer to one command: protect the chosen. The enemy knows this, which is why he tries to isolate you, to convince you that you are defenseless. But you are never outnumbered. You are surrounded by heaven's might. Chosen one. You must understand this. Protection is not always visible, but it is always present. Sometimes the delay is the defense. Sometimes the detour is the divine shield. When doors close suddenly, when plans crumble, when people walk away, it may not be rejection, it may be redirection to safety. Heaven's armies move through disruption as easily as they move through silence. Even now, as you read these words, your angels stand nearer. They listen for instruction from the throne, ready to act at the slightest nod from the Almighty. Their strength is not in swords, but in obedience. They do not hesitate, they do not question. They move because heaven said your name. So, breathe. Rest in the knowing that you are watched over. The sleepless nights you've endured are not mirrored in heaven because your guardians never sleep. They trade shifts in perfect rhythm, ensuring no gap exists in your protection. When you wake in the middle of the night with an unexplainable sense of peace, that is not coincidence, it's covering. When danger comes near and somehow dissolves, that's not random, it's divine intervention. The air around you is full of guardianship. You are never unprotected, never unguarded, never alone. The day will come when heaven's curtain is lifted, and you will see what your prayers accomplished. what your faith activated, what your tears summoned. You will see that you were never weak, never forgotten, never unshielded. You will see thousands of radiant beings who stood with you in silence and fought unseen battles on your behalf. Until then, walk with quiet confidence. Do not fear the unknown. You are escorted by eternity itself. You move through this world wrapped in invisible glory, trailed by flame and song. Chosen one, lift your head. The battle has never been yours alone. Heaven has always been on your side, literally. Angels on assignment surround you still, and they will not leave until your story is finished, in victory. Chosen one. Can you feel it? The air itself is shifting again. Something divine is unfolding in the unseen, a moment where heaven's timeline and your obedience meet perfectly. This is what prophets of old longed to witness. Divine alignment in motion. You are standing in that alignment right now, whether you realize it or not. There are moments when heaven moves quietly. And then there are moments like this, when the heavens roar softly through numbers, through patterns, through signs meant only for those awake in spirit. The movement you sense within you is not anxiety, it's acceleration. You are stepping into a prophetic sequence, a divine rhythm orchestrated by grace itself. It was written in the sacred wisdom of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. For everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. This is that time. The season you prayed for, cried for, and waited for is arriving. You are not too late. You are right on divine schedule. Heaven's clock does not run by seconds and minutes. It runs by obedience and readiness. The winds that once pushed against you are now pushing for you. The resistance you felt in the last season was heaven's way of turning you in the right direction. Every delay has been recalibration. Every disappointment, divine editing. The author of time was rewriting chapters while you thought your story was paused. You have entered what heaven calls the 777 moment. 7, the number of completion and perfection multiplied threefold to symbolize divine fullness. This is not numerology. It is prophecy written in mathematics. 7 days to creation. 7 seals of revelation. 7 trumpets of awakening. All reminders that heaven completes what it begins. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, type 777 below. When you do, you are not simply posting digits, you are declaring, I align with divine timing. I step into completion. I choose the perfect will of heaven over my own. End of. You've seen what happens when people rush. You've watched promises crumble because they were birthed prematurely. But now, you are wiser. You understand that completion is not just finishing something, it's finishing it in divine order. The number 777 represents that order, the closing of one cycle and the opening of another. When you type it, you are not chasing blessing, you are recognizing its arrival. Heaven moves through symbols to mark sacred shifts. And this one belongs to you. The act of typing may seem small, but it's like striking flint against stone sparks of agreement that ignite heavenly fire. The Spirit whispers, your delay is over. The door you thought was shut was merely sealed until your heart was steady enough to handle it. The promise you buried in prayer has not died, it was growing roots in secret. This moment marks the sprouting. Completion has come. And grace is multiplying. You have carried dreams that felt endless. You've endured pruning seasons, where everything you loved seemed stripped away. But heaven was never taking, it was trading. Trading comfort for capacity. Trading smallness for significance. Trading weariness for wonder. That's what divine timing does. It exchanges the temporary for the eternal. Beloved, there is peace coming over you now, even as you read. That peace is confirmation. Heaven is whispering through calm, not chaos. You are entering a season where things that once took years will now happen in moments. Not because you worked harder, but because you waited right. Alignment accelerates what striving cannot. This is why heaven releases numbers, not for superstition, but for synchronization. When you type 777, you are tuning your life to heaven's rhythm. You're declaring that you refuse to run ahead or lag behind. You will walk in step with the divine conductor. You will let his timing orchestrate your triumph. The number 7 also carries another meaning: rest. The seventh day, God rested, not because he was tired, but because he was satisfied. This is the satisfaction season for your soul. You have built, battled, and believed long enough. Now comes the rest that only arrives when heaven says, "It is done." Oh, look back. Chosen one. Can you see it? The pattern. Every closed door led you closer to purpose. Every unanswered prayer was preparation for this exact season. What you once called confusion was divine choreography. You were not waiting for something. Something was waiting for you. Heaven does not rush masterpieces. Diamonds are not made in daylight. They're formed under pressure, in the dark. And now the pressure is releasing because the masterpiece is ready. You are ready. So type 777 below, not to make something happen, but to agree that it already has. When you do, let it be your signature under heaven's declaration. My time has come. No. And when you hit send, know that the angels record it not as data, but as destiny. Your obedience becomes sound. Your agreement becomes light. And together they open doors no human hand could force. You are aligned. You are on time. You are walking in completion. The 777 moment has begun. Chosen one. If the world feels unstable around you, it is not your imagination. The shaking you sense is not destruction, it is distinction. Heaven is sifting the earth, separating what is eternal from what is temporary, what is true from what only pretends. The structures that once felt secure are trembling, not because God has abandoned them, but because he is revealing what was never built on his foundation. The ancient letter to the Hebrews speaks of this mystery with divine precision, as recorded in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 26. Once more, I will shake not only the earth but also the heavens. That once more is now. The shaking is not punishment, it is purification. The hands of heaven are moving across creation, removing what can be shaken, so that what is unshakable may remain. You, chosen one, are part of that unshakable remnant. This is why everything around you has been unsettled. God has been testing the anchors of your soul. You could not remain attached to false security while carrying divine destiny. That is why people shifted. Jobs changed. Relationships faded. And plans collapsed. Heaven was not dismantling your life, it was detoxing it. Every shaking you've endured was heaven's way of revealing what truly matters. When the ground quakes, only what's rooted survives. You are being rooted deeper than before, rooted in faith, in truth, in eternal purpose. Your identity is no longer in the approval of others, the success of plans, or the stability of systems. It rests solely in the one who cannot be moved. The shaking hurts because it removes what you once leaned on. It strips away illusions you mistook for strength. Yet after the shaking, what remains is pure faith untainted, worship unforced, obedience unshaken. God never shakes you to break you. He shakes you to strengthen you. Think of a tree in a storm. The wind howls. The branches sway. The leaves scatter. But the roots dig deeper. That is you right now. The winds are not destroying you. They are driving you deeper into God's heart. Each wave of resistance has anchored you further into truth. What once made you tremble now makes you trust. This shaking is global, personal, and spiritual. The systems of this world are cracking because they were never meant to carry eternity. Idols of comfort, pride, and self-dependence are crumbling. God is stripping away distractions so that His chosen ones can hear His voice clearly again. You have noticed it, haven't you? The things that once satisfied you no longer do. The conversations you used to enjoy now feel shallow. The spaces you once belonged to now feel foreign. This is not alienation, it is elevation. Heaven is pulling you upward, separating you from the counterfeit comfort that once numbed your spirit. Do not mourn what is leaving. The shaking removes, but it also reveals what remains after the shaking is real, lasting, and sacred. Some friendships will survive the tremors because they were forged in faith. Others will fall away because they were built on convenience. Let them. Do not cling to what God is clearing. This moment is divine sorting. Wheat and chaff, gold and dust, purpose and distraction. The Spirit of God is drawing a line not of exclusion, but of distinction. Those who remain steadfast will shine brighter, like stars against a darker sky. You are one of them. Your heart may ache at what you've lost, but soon you will see that every loss was a layer removed. Beneath the rubble of what once was, new foundations are forming. You are being prepared to carry heavier glory, to build what will not crumble when the next shaking comes. And there will be another shaking, there always is. But fear not. You will not be moved. You will walk through chaos with peace that makes no sense. When others panic, you will carry perspective. When the world collapses, you will construct. You will become a pillar of stability in an age of trembling. Chosen one. Understand this. The shaking is heaven's mercy. God shakes what can fall so that you learn to hold what cannot. He is not trying to make you lose. He is trying to make you last. Every trembling season is a prophetic classroom teaching you to stand when everything else sways. When the shaking ends, you will not be the same. Your roots will be stronger, your voice clearer, your vision purer. You will thank God one day for every tremor that forced you to depend on Him completely. You will say, "If I had not been shaken, I would not have known what was real." So, do not resist the shaking. Chosen one. Let it finish its holy work. Let it strip away the unnecessary. Let it reveal the unbreakable. Because when the dust settles, you will still be standing unchanged in identity, unbroken in faith, unmovable in love. The world may tremble, but you were built to remain. Chosen one. Fire has always been heaven's language of refinement. When God wants to reveal what is pure, He does not send comfort, He sends fire. It does not come to consume you, but to clarify you. It burns away the false, leaving only what carries eternal weight. You have been walking through this season of fire, and though it felt like suffering, it has secretly been sanctification. It is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned. The flames shall not set you ablaze. These words are not a promise of avoidance. They are a promise of endurance. God never said you wouldn't walk through flames. He said you would not be consumed by them. The fire was allowed to touch your surroundings, not your soul. You felt heat, but not harm. The flames you feared became the very light that revealed your strength. Every trial, every heartbreak, every loss was a form of holy temperature, rising, separating gold from dross, purpose from pride, faith from familiarity. You thought you were breaking, but you were being refined. The world avoids fire, heaven uses it. Every chosen one must walk through at least one furnace. It is the only way to transform calling into character. Gifts can appear instantly, but purity must be processed. Fire is the crucible of authenticity. It melts away performance, leaving only truth. Think about the blacksmith forging a sword. He heats the metal until it glows, then hammers it with force, again and again, until it takes shape. Streich strengthens it. Each immersion in flame gives it resilience. That is what God has been doing with you. The blows you felt were not punishment, they were precision. Heaven was shaping you into a weapon no darkness can dull. The moments you screamed in confusion were moments of creation. You were being molded into something heaven could trust. The very seasons you wanted to escape were the ones equipping you for what's next. The fire never came to end you, it came to expose the strength within you. There were nights when you whispered, "God, I can't take this anymore." And heaven replied, "Yes, you can, because I am within you." You were never meant to endure the flames alone. The Spirit became your air in the furnace. The heat intensified, but the presence multiplied. That's why you didn't collapse. You were carried. You see, fire has memory. It remembers what it touches, and everything that survives it carries proof of divine preservation. That is why your presence intimidates darkness. You have walked through what others only fear. You have seen what cannot be seen, endured what cannot be explained, and emerged not bitter, but brighter. Now you shine differently. It's not the glow of pride, but of purification. The world can sense it, even if they can't name it. That quiet authority you carry comes from having been burned and built simultaneously. People can imitate words, but not weight. You carry spiritual weight now, the kind that only comes from surviving flames without losing faith. Do not resent the heat that shaped you. Do not curse the seasons that scorched your comfort. They made you unshakable. You are not fragile porcelain, you are refined steel. You may bend under pressure, but you will not break. The fire that was meant to destroy you only discovered you. And here is the mystery: fire not only refines, it reveals. It exposes hidden impurities, but also hidden beauty. Gold shines brightest only after it has melted. Likewise, your true essence, your compassion, your discernment. Your courage emerged only after the heat rose. Pain has a way of polishing the soul. When others see ashes, heaven sees evidence. The smoke of your trials rises as incense before the throne. It is not the smell of destruction, but of devotion. Every tear you shed in the heat became liquid prayer. Every sigh became a song heaven recorded. You are not emerging empty. You are emerging anointed. The fire leaves a mark. Yes, but not a wound. It brands you with divine resilience. You will never again fear what once frightened you, because you now know the flames obey him. Fire cannot destroy what carries his name. Chosen one, breathe deeply now. The blaze is dying down. The temperature is shifting. The season of burning is giving way to the season of brilliance. You are stepping out, not charred, but changed. The smoke behind you is not your failure. It is your fragrance. The world will smell the fire on you, but not the fear. You survived what was meant to end you. That means you are unstoppable. The fire did not consume you. It crowned you. Chosen one. You have walked through fire, through storm, through silence, and you are still here. That alone is a miracle. Heaven looks upon you now with the same pride a craftsman has when he finally steps back from his masterpiece. You have been carved, refined, stretched, and strengthened. And now, the voice that once whispered, "Hold on," begins to declare, "Rise, O Ves." As it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is not a gentle encouragement, it is a royal command. Heaven is calling you to rise from silence, to stand tall again, to let your light be seen. For too long, you have dimmed yourself to make others comfortable, hiding brilliance behind fear of being misunderstood. But light does not apologize for shining. You were not created to blend into shadows. You were made to pierce them. Every scar, every story, every stumble has become a reflection of grace. You are no longer surviving, you are standing, and your stand is a signal to others lost in the dark. The way you rise will help them believe they can too. Imagine a lighthouse after the storm, its foundation shaken, its walls scarred by waves, but its beams still shining. That is you. The light that streams from your life now has more power because it comes from experience. You have been through darkness, so your brightness carries empathy. You understand pain, so your words carry healing. This message, this space, what you're reading right now, is not built by algorithms or luck. It is a gathering of light bearers, a refuge for souls awakening to their purpose. Each word is a small candle, each share is a spark, each connection is a constellation forming across the earth. We are not just talking about faith, we are building a living network of it. And that is why your engagement matters more than you think. When you like, it isn't vanity, it's visibility. It's as if you're saying, "I see the light, and I want others to see it too." When you share, it's not just forwarding content, it's carrying a torch to someone standing in darkness. You never know whose soul your act of obedience might reach. When you comment, you're not typing into the void, you're adding your voice to heaven's chorus. Every word of encouragement strengthens someone else's resolve. Every testimony you leave behind becomes proof that miracles still happen, And if your heart feels moved to donate, to give, to sow into this mission, know that it is more than charity. It's investment in eternity. Your support is the oil that keeps this light burning. You are not funding a screen, you are fueling a story. Keeping the beacon lit for the next soul lost at sea. Think of this movement as a river. Your engagement, your like, your share. Your gift is another drop that strengthens the current. It flows onward, reaching lands and hearts you'll never see. But heaven measures it. Every drop counts. Every ripple matters. You are part of something bigger than one message or one moment. You are part of a revival of remembrance where the chosen ones finally remember who they are. And the beauty of light is this: it never loses by giving. The more it spreads, the stronger it grows. Beloved, if you have been blessed by what heaven speaks through these words, let your light echo back. Support, not out of pressure, but out of gratitude. Share not out of duty, but out of compassion. Comment because your voice carries healing. Subscribe, not for content, but for connection, to stay close to the river of what God is doing here. This is your family of faith, your circle of fire. Together, we are rebuilding hope, one word at a time. Together, we are proving that faith still flows in a world of noise. And as you rise, remember, you are not just receiving the message, you are the message. Your endurance, your faith, your generosity, your engagement, they all preach louder than any sermon. The way you respond now becomes part of heaven's echo across this generation. So, beloved, rise and shine. Let your click be a candle, your share a seed, your comment a song, and if you give, let it be a prayer in motion. Because everything you do from this moment forward helps heaven's light travel farther. The night may still be dark, but the lighthouse is burning bright, and you are part of that flame. Together, we carry the light. Together, we make sure it never goes out. Chosen one, the fire has passed, and the dawn approaches. You stand now in the calm after the storm, where the air feels cleaner, lighter, sacred. Heaven looks upon you and sees not the ashes of suffering, but the radiance of survival. You have been through the valley, climbed the mountain, and now, for the first time in a long time, you can breathe without fear of what comes next. You are no longer the same as when you began. Something inside you has changed quietly, deeply, permanently. The tremors of uncertainty that once ruled your heart have stilled. You do not need the world's validation to know your value. You know who you are and whose you are. You have become steady, like a flame that cannot be blown out by wind. This is what it means to be crowned with glory. The psalmist captured this truth long before you were born. As it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 65, verse 11, you crown the year with your goodness, and your paths drip with abundance. That verse is not simply about time, it's about transformation. God does not just end seasons, He crowns them. He finishes what He begins, wrapping pain in purpose and turning loss into legacy. You have learned that true glory is not found in applause, but in alignment. It is not about standing above others, but standing rightly before God. The world's crowns fade, they rust, they tarnish, they fall, but the one heaven places upon you shines through eternity. It cannot be stolen, bought, or broken. It can only be revealed through surrender. When others look at you, they may not see a crown, but they will feel it. They will sense peace in your presence, weight in your words, light in your eyes. You have become a reflection of the one who crowned you. And though your journey is not over, you now walk as one who carries evidence of heaven's touch. Your steps are different now, softer, yet more certain. You move with quiet authority, aware that you represent more than yourself. You carry heaven's signature, and everywhere you walk, glory leaves a trace. The people you encounter may not know why they feel hope rise around you, but heaven knows. You are its ambassador, wearing unseen royalty in a world desperate for authenticity. Do not fear if others misunderstand you. Light often appears strange to eyes accustomed to shadows. Your growth may distance you from what once felt familiar, but that distance is not loss, it is proof of ascension. The higher you climb, the fewer voices you hear, and that silence is sacred. It is the sound of divine intimacy, where only heaven speaks. You will soon notice new clarity in your spirit. The noise that once confused you no longer has power. The opinions that once swayed you now fade like echoes in the distance. This is what it means to be crowned with glory. You live from a higher place. You listen not for noise, but for nuance. You move not by impulse, but by insight. And there will be peace, not the fragile peace of quiet circumstances, but the fierce peace of divine certainty, the peace that says, even if the storm returns, I know the one who commands the wind. That is your inheritance now. You have entered a realm where peace is not dependent on the absence of chaos, but on the presence of God. This crown you wear is not just for display, it is for duty. With it comes responsibility to shine, to lead, to love differently. You are now a carrier of divine presence in every space you enter. Your laughter will heal. Your words will comfort. Your presence will shift atmospheres. You do not even need to try. It will simply happen because glory walks with you. Chosen one. Pause for a moment and feel it, the weightless weight of that crown. It is not heavy because it was never meant to burden you. It was meant to bless you. It sits lightly upon you because grace is light. It rests securely because it was custom made for your soul. You are crowned, not for what you've done, but for who you've become. Heaven celebrates not your perfection, but your perseverance. The crown upon you is proof that God finishes every good work. He begins, and when you walk forward from here, let that invisible light remind you daily. You are not just surviving history, you are shaping it. You are crowned with glory. And your story now shines like sunrise after a storm, soft, golden, and unstoppable. Chosen one. Heaven is quiet now. But the silence is not empty, it is holy. You have reached the edge of the message. The final trumpet call. This is where revelation becomes realization, where everything you have walked through begins to make sense. Heaven has been preparing you, not for recognition, but for readiness. This is the hour when purpose meets maturity. From the very beginning, you were marked, even when you doubted, even when you failed. The mark remained. You could not run far enough to escape the pull of destiny because heaven had already claimed your name. You have been through valleys of confusion, peaks of hope, and deserts of silence. Yet you never truly walked alone. Every step, even the ones that felt meaningless, was part of a divine sequence leading here to the final trumpet call. The Apostle Paul wrote of this moment long ago in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 52. For the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised, imperishable, and we will be changed. Those words speak not only of the final day of resurrection, but of every awakening that happens within the living. The trumpet of heaven is not only a sound in the sky, it is a stirring in the soul. And that stirring is happening in you now. You feel it, a vibration in your spirit, a holy quickening that whispers, change is here. You are not dying, you are being transformed. The final trumpet for this chapter of your life has sounded, not to announce an ending, but to declare a beginning. Heaven does not close one door without opening another that leads closer to glory. Look back for a moment. Every message before this one was a step up a mountain. Every revelation a rung on a ladder. And now you stand on the summit, looking not at where you've been, but at what's coming. The clouds of confusion are clearing, and you can see far, a horizon wide with promise. Heaven has been sculpting this view just for you, preparing your eyes to handle the brilliance of what's ahead. The trumpet call is both a summons and a sending. It calls you to attention, but also commissions you to go forth. You are no longer a listener, you are now a carrier of the sound. Everywhere you go, your words, your presence, your very breath will carry the same frequency that called you awake. You have become a living echo of heaven's trumpet. Do not think this means ease. It means elevation. You will walk lighter, but you will walk farther. You will speak softer, but your voice will carry deeper. You will act slower, but every action will hold more meaning. This is what transformation feels like. It is not a rush, it is a release. The old has fallen away, and what remains is refined, radiant, renewed, chosen one. The final trumpet call also carries a warning, gentle but firm. Do not return to what you've been freed from. Do not cling to what the shaking already removed. The familiar will call you back, but you must remember it no longer fits. You cannot wear old garments in a new season. The trumpet has sounded, and everything about you has changed. This transformation is permanent. You will notice it in subtle ways, the peace that no longer wavers, the discernment that comes without effort, the authority in your voice. Even when you whisper, you will pray differently, love differently, see differently. That is the mark of one who has answered heaven's final call. And now, a deep stillness settles. Heaven watches as you stand at the threshold, light gathering around you, like dawn over water. The angels who have walked with you step back in reverence. The Father smiles, not because the journey is over, but because the foundation is firm. You have become what He always knew. You could be a vessel of glory, a bearer of sound, a living prophecy. No more striving, no more proving, no more fearing. You are home in your purpose. The final trumpet was not a warning of loss, it was a symphony of arrival. You are changed, transformed, awakened. So, stand still for a moment longer. Feel the silence after the sound, the peace after the battle, the joy after the refining. This is not the end. Chosen one, it is the unveiling. Heaven's last warning has become, Heaven's first welcome into your new season. You are ready now. You have heard the trumpet. You have answered the call. And the sound of heaven moves with you forever. The silence that follows heaven's trumpet is sacred. It is the sound of completion, the moment when revelation settles into realization. You, chosen one, have walked the full circle, from calling to cleansing, from fire to fulfillment. This is not the end of a message. It is the beginning of movement. Heaven has not spoken these 17 sections merely to inspire you, but to awaken you. Every word was a seed, and now your spirit carries the garden. You are no longer waiting for confirmation. You are the confirmation. You are the living testimony that grace can outlast grief, that light can outshine darkness, that love can outlive loss. The journey ahead will still have battles, but you are no longer a soldier learning. You are a warrior leading. Your armor gleams not because it is new, but because it has been tested. Your faith does not tremble anymore. It roars. You carry heaven's sound in your bones. Let this truth anchor you. Heaven never calls without covering, never commands without equipping, never warns without purpose. The final trumpet call was never about fear, it was about fulfillment. You are stepping into a future already prepared, paths already paved, victories already written. Walk forward, crowned and confident. The same heaven that spoke to you through these words now walks beside you in silence. The message may pause, but the movement continues. You are heaven's echo on earth, and wherever you go, the light follows. You are chosen. You are ready, and the sound of your obedience will keep heaven speaking through you.